Ad Hoc Abstract. This is so cool. We're going to be showcasing 4 Hamilton-based artists today. We are at Paul Elia Studio on Cannon Street in Hamilton, and first up, we've got Nancy Benoy.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for this opportunity. This is amazing.
You guys have a big show coming up this weekend.
And just again, thank you so much, Paul Elia, for this opportunity. It's so exciting. Always love this space. If you've never been here, come on down. It is going to be fantastic.
I want to know all about your art. Your expression of color is incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this is what really drives me. First is color. I'm just drawn to everything color, interior design, fashion.
Yeah, I know, I love it. I'm like, is that an outfit?
It's always
got paint
color.
on it.
It's always color first. And traditionally, I painted with a lot of like movement and texture and overlapping and busyness and chaos. And that was fine. And then I started adding some lines to kind of calm it down or play with the chaos and control a little bit. And then I went full on control. This is sort of new for me. I used a bunch of painter's tape, lots of layers, a little bit more thoughtful because of all the layering. I want it to be very graphic.
I get it, yeah.
And just play with different compositions and different color compositions, and really just a little pop of joy and happiness for someone, maybe in your living room or like your bedroom or wherever, you know, things like that, just like a little pop of color. And I decided to use canvas paper because it sort of, my studio space is quite small, and also I teach in my studio space
so you
online,
can stack it.
so I can stack it. So it's just a pad of paper. So it's sort of like a small footprint. It's like a little nod to that.
I love that.
And then I just framed one, so you can see how it looks if it's framed. Super sexy, I think.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it looks amazing.
My paintings are sexy.
I love the clean lines.
Yeah,
I do.
I got these little clear clips, right, just to sort of hang them. And it's kind of drapery, which is like a nod to fashion as well.
I like that. And I love these little guys.
Oh, these are
my favorite.
This is my off-cut color collection. It's like a little. They're 2x4s that I had my hubby cut, and I sanded, and I only used paint that I had around the home, so I didn't buy anything new.
Oh, so I love the sustainability.
Yeah, lots of house paint, lots of old tins of paint that I had, and again, just playing with little loops and colors and stuff like that. Oh, and of course, here's my blobs modern.
I was gonna say, these don't have lines. There's no lines here.
I tried so much to just keep with the lines, and then Nancy really, you know, I can't contain who I am, you know what I'm saying? So I just had to really go with my natural blobs. So I just did some of those little friends, but just 3, just enough to get out of my system. And then finally, I went and made 3 sort of larger ones.
That's gorgeous.
Because it feels really good to paint.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not really big. This is big for me. So I was like, these are huge. And
well, yeah, because you know, you hear your little itty bitty ones compare.
Yeah. So yeah, just really playing with color and line and just sort of having a pop of color in your home. Ban the beige, darlings.
What I love about this space, and we're going to showcase more of it, is that you are all so uniquely different. So coming up, we're going to be talking to Natasha, we're going to be talking to Tanya, we're going to be talking to Stephanie, all of that and more coming up on Morning Live.
Amazing. Thank you.
Natasja Bischoff is another one of the artists here at the gallery, and your style is very much kind of how I would roll, very neutral, very black and white. The color, it scares me. I'm not saying it scares you, but I'm like, this is more my speed.
The lack thereof.
This is more my speed.
And it's a funny thing. I'm probably the most opposite of everybody else here with a complete lack of color. I've done both individual shows with Stephanie before because we have a sort of commonality in our shapes and our approach. But Nancy is also one of my best friends. And we are like complete polar opposites, right? She's like a riot of color and expression, and mine is vroom, right? Like super toned down. So
tell me about it though.
I more often than not work in mixed media, so I do a combination of painting and drawing. So everything that's black in the background that you see here is black acrylic paint, but then everything else is done in drawing materials, primarily Conte and charcoal and pencils. And so I paint everything out, and then within that blackness, I look for things and I pull things out, and I try to create a 3-dimensional plane over top of a two-dimensional plane. So
Yeah.
it's very much building something out of nothing and then creating connectedness between shapes. A lot of organic form, and it's just sort of a world of my own creation.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's
and
beautiful.
it's very much about, for me, like both not just shape, and void and lack of color, but also building something out of nothing and creating my own world with that.
I love that. Okay, so we've got these two, and I feel like these two, they need to stay together. They need to live together.
Yeah,
They have to.
They, out of this body of work, these were the first two that were done.
Yeah.
And I never know, once I start something, I don't know what it's going to look like from beginning to end. It's just like one shape begets another. I'll see a line somewhere, and then I'll see, oh, this joins to this. And then
Yeah.
it just becomes something else.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of depth and dimension.
Yeah, they
in all
at
of
a
that.
distance they look simple, but if you're up quite close,
It's way
then you
different.
see there's a lot more going on.
It's way
So
different.
you need to come to the show to see that. Yeah.
And we've got this one right here too.
Yeah,
I love this one.
is a piece that was done a little while ago, and this is an example of me. It's acrylic on canvas, and yeah, just more simplified forms. I love architecture. I love sculpture, and I find that my work, when it's 2D, often tries to build something 3D out of that, or allude to it anyways.
And almost like it almost pushes you to do what it wants to do in a way.
Yeah. It sort of dictates itself. Yeah.
I find that so neat. And then these two again are yours.
These two were done after the first two. And I think because I was getting more into it and finding my groove with it, they're a bit more refined than the first two. And so that's why they belong together.
Yeah.
So things are a little tighter and a bit more precise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, more art to see at the Paul Elia Art Center coming up on Morning Live, but for now, I'm gonna send things back inside the studio. We are now looking at some art created by Stephanie Seagram. Where did you get your inspiration for these pieces?
Wow, okay. Well, I think for me, it starts with the mark making and the act of putting marks on a surface and the idea of that movement and the repetition of that. So it comes from a very sort of deep place of wanting to make and create. And then from there, this motif, this repetition of line, spherical type of line, is really a motif that I've been doing for 30 years. I can't get it out of my system.
You just love it.
I don't know if I love it, but it's there.
It's part of you.
Part of me, yes.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I love it.
Yeah.
That's the best.
So it just works. So this particular body of work is an exploration around working with it, sort of pausing, embracing, holding this motif, and allowing it to push forward into other areas which are really passionate of mine, which is nature and photography. So I'm trying to incorporate more of that into my work. And it's a very intensive process. This is Duralar or architectural film, and it's actually, I'm allowed to touch the work.
Because it's mine.
It's actually like a plastic paper.
I was gonna say, it's
Yeah.
very different. I've never seen that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
texture.
collage. So there's pieces glued on, and there's pieces underneath.
Well, this is fascinating to me. This one down here, I can't stop looking at it. This has really drawn my eye.
And that's part of it. I want to draw you in.
Yeah.
I want you to explore and imagine and contemplate things that only you can think about. And so the work is existing as a space for that. So it's very mixed media. There's lots of different materials in there. There's graphite, there's charcoal, there's pencil crayon, there's ink, there's gouache, there's
Is
acrylic.
there crayon though?
No.
No crayon.
No
See, that's
crayon.
what I'm an expert
no
at,
crayon,
crayon.
but pretty close, yeah.
And I love that it's like your art just took you in a place that just didn't fit on here, but you were gonna still take it there.
It worked. It had
Yeah.
to stay. It told me what it needed to
Yeah.
do. And that's also what happens. It's, my work is I'm very responsive. So something happens, I might just make a mark.
Yeah.
And then based on that, I'll start to interact and react and reflect and respond to that work.
I want to make sure we get up the other wall
Yeah.
of your other pieces over here as well, because there's two more. And then Tell me about these ones.
So these are actually my COVID fellas.
Oh.
Or not fellas. That doesn't sound very
Well, it does. They're your COVID babies.
They are my COVID babies.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. These are my COVID babies, and they were very much a way for me to calm down. And it actually, through this, my line started to become into shape, and shape became into form, which is what I was trying to evoke. And through that, this would probably be the most direct relationship, this bottom one here with the yellows and the greens, in terms of reflecting what those previous works done in sort of 2020, 21 were done, and then this is all, the rest are all 2023.
Wow, they're gorgeous. The abstract show is going to be happening this weekend. You don't want to miss it. Coming up, we're going to be talking to Tanya, and we're going to maybe start a little art wall. All of that coming up on Morning Live. Tanya Lacaria is the last artist that we're going to be featuring. You've had a really big impact in this show, putting it all together, helping me come down, introducing me to all your fellow artists. We've had such a great time. Let's talk about your art, and then let's take a look at the art wall.
Yeah, so a lot of my art is exploring the concept of paradox, the idea that two realities exist at the same time. And so in this collection, I was inspired by the concept of baskets. The idea that like baskets are these things that we use to hold on to objects, but not everything will be contained in a basket. The smaller items are kind of going to slip through the cracks. And so the paradox here is the idea of how we're going to hold on to certain things or people in our lives while also being able to let go of the things that maybe no longer serve us or that we don't need.
I love it.
And so you'll see a little bit of like basket imagery and weaving throughout some of the works. I'm debuting some sculpture work here as well that I've been playing with a little bit of basket weaving. And so this idea...
You don't seem so sure about that.
I'm like, you know what? I think in true ad hoc abstract spirit, the idea of just experimenting, seeing what happens in the now.
Yeah.
That's what I did with the sculpture work, and it's just fun. We're just here to have fun.
Totally.
And hold on to what we love, but also let go of any inhibitions and self-doubt.
So, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Now, the art wall that you guys have, this is something that helps kids, and I love that.
So we've decided to create a collaborative community art wall, and the idea is that when you come to the show, you'll be able to make a mark on the wall. Everyone's going to contribute, and then you can make a $40 or $75 donation in exchange for some art prints that we will be selecting and cropping from the art wall. And now we're just going to start making some art, and I think I'm about to make the first.
Yes, this is so exciting.
Okay, you're witnessing this live.
This is awesome.
Let's do it. And there's no rules, and we're just going to do whatever feels right. And that's it.
All right, that's quite the mark. All right, ladies, you're up. Come on, let's see it go.
Someone else. All right,
let's see it go. So when you buy this, and it goes to helping to feed kids, right?
Yeah, so we're using Food for Kids as the charity that we've chosen. So you're going to be able to come in and, ooh, I love that. Sorry, very distracting. Whoa. So come in, make a $40 donation. We've got a QR code. You're just going to snap a quick picture, make a donation, and then we will contact you afterwards for your print.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So this has so much impact for so many reasons. You guys are such artists.
Oh, okay. Emily, please leave your own mark. Please choose a piece of mark making
oh my
here.
gosh.
Seriously? There's no right or wrong. You can do whatever.
I think there might be a little bit of wrong, but I'm gonna try.
I believe in you. You can do it. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
There.
Yes.
There's my mark. It's a big one.
That's how art works.
All right, well, thanks so much for having us to the beautiful studio. Come on down this weekend, check out the art show, make a donation, and, you know, take a look at our marks.